I've been watching this very long, I don't want to say documentary or whatever, on the whole pirate software thing. And, I wasn't, everyone, you watch things like this, and as somebody who's trying to get a little bit more into like the chat side of things, I have my chat channel over on the other side that, just like everything else I do is very slowly growing, but I'm trying to build it up into something. I wasn't really planning on making a video based on any of this stuff because, it's all been said, and, he has certain pride issues, and I don't know. He represents that typical like super nerd guy that always has to be right and can't ever be wrong, and like you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So the thing that really decided, the part where I got to the point where I really wanted to decide I wanted to make a video regarding this is probably on a topic that most people wouldn't even bother with, but it's the voice thing. As somebody who has always had a relatively high-pitched voice, I think, the appeal of trying to do something to address that is really, really hard to resist. Because I have to say that as soon as I heard him, I was like, oh my God, I wish I had a voice like that. People would absolutely want to listen to me all day if I had a voice as deep and resonant as that. It never occurred to me that he might be using a voice changer. I don't even know how you would do that in real time. I know you could go back and adjust it. And I know they had the voice changer for the spy things and the broker or whatever. But I don't know. I think I looked it up once because I was kind of curious about it. I didn't necessarily want to change my voice. Like, obviously, I have some equalization that happens to, kind of mitigate the effects of the microphone, because if you know anything about microphones, you know that even if you have a reasonably decent voice, a reasonably deep and resonant voice, the microphone has a tendency to wipe all of that out, and you kind of need to rebalance it on the other side to get the original sound quality back. Now, obviously, I put a little bit more bass into my voice than is probably natural, because, nobody wants to listen to a high-pitched, nasally person talking. You know what I'm saying? If I talk like this all the time, and I always had my voice really deep, and I was able to get, get real resonance out of my voice and all of that stuff all the time, we as human beings naturally respond to deep, resonant voices a lot better than somebody who has a high-pitched, nasally one. I mean, it just is what it is. So, I don't necessarily begrudge him using a voice changer, because to be perfectly honest with you, if I had known that would have been a thing, I probably would have done the same thing myself, because guaranteed, this is not even a question. If I had a deep voice like that was super resonant and was very pleasant to listen to just from the timbre, the timbre of the voice, more people would watch my videos for longer, because you have to imagine that the tone of my voice and the way that I talk, the way that my voice sounds, it turns off a lot of people. The high-pitched nasally voices are just not nearly as pleasant to listen to as somebody who has a deep resonant one. So obviously pretending to have a voice like that, like if he had a statement or something that he had said during one of his live streams, you only have to say it once. You only have to be able to like refer back to an early video when he said, hey, yeah, I'm using this voice changer because, I don't like the way my voice sounds. I don't want to subject you to the way my voice sounds. I'm using this voice changer to make the content creation experience that I am trying to provide you a better one, right? So I think if that had been the case, it's the honesty aspect. I don't think anybody would have, made too much fun of him if he was upfront about the fact that he used a voice changer. And if I ever decided to actually try, I've established myself too much now in my channel about who I am and what I sound like and stuff like that to try to implement a change like that. But I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, if I had a quick, easy way of making my voice sound super nice and deep, aside from the fact that, I've never liked the sound of my voice and it's something that has always bothered me, and it bothers a lot of people, but it really bothers me because I'm acutely aware that I don't have the deepest voice in the world. I'm fully aware, which is weird because, I served 11 years as a United States Marine. I served as assistant and acting drum major for several bands, for several Marine like musical bands where you have to be able to like shout very loudly to give commands so that people can hear you, and they have to be able to hear you across the parade deck. And like, I can project my voice when I need to, but my natural speaking voice is just, it's not super deep. So, I'm not here, like, this video is not intended to necessarily be even about pirate software. It's just about, the one aspect of all of this drama that everybody's jumping on. I think the reason why they're jumping on him is just the fact that he is trying to pretend like he's something that he's not. And this whole, deeper voice modification thing is an addition to that. But to be perfectly honest with you, I think that if you are a content creator and you're trying to create the best product possible, and you know that your voice is a significant detractor to that, I don't know, maybe it kind of makes sense to use a tool that will make you sound better so that people will want to watch you longer. And to be perfectly honest with you, now that I say that, having it come out of my mouth, I don't think I'm going to do it because, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do it because, the people who follow me know me as how I am. And I always kind of have pushed the idea of being as genuine as possible. So, I don't know. It's kind of one of those weird catch-22 things where it's like, I think that the overall content experience would be better if I used a voice changer. Just objectively. It's not even like a self-conscious thing. I just think a deeper voice is more... Like, you listen to Mike Rowe, you could listen to him all freaking day. Like, you could listen to him talk just all day without even having to worry about it, because he's just got such an amazing voice to listen to. Versus someone like me, you can only listen to me for about 10 minutes before you're just like, all right, I'm ready to go find something else to watch. You know what I'm saying? So, I think there's a genuine way to do it. But to be perfectly honest with you, I would only consider doing that if my viewers told me that, yeah, I think we think you should try that. We should, see if it actually increases your views and stuff like that. We won't judge you for that. We understand you're trying to create a good product. But at the same time, it's like I'm trying to make a reputation for myself as someone who's genuine and honest. And so, if people don't know that that's not my voice, you see what I'm saying? There's really no way to go down that road that kind of that doesn't contradict my whole be open and honest about stuff and don't pretend to be this or pretend to be that. I don't know. The purpose of this video is not to solicit that. The purpose of this video is to say that I understand why he did what he did. I think it would have been better if he had been super honest about it. People are making fun of him about the voice changing part because he's trying to make it seem like he's genuinely a deep voiced, I have this awesome voice person. It's like, it's okay to not have a great voice. It's okay to create your channel in a way that appeals to the most people possible. Just be honest about it. Like, be honest about it. That's not your voice. It's okay that it's not your voice. You're branding your channel under this deep voice kind of thing. I don't really think it's going to disappoint too many people if they meet you in person and your voice isn't what it is on the stream, because they understand that that's a highly processed, highly produced thing that you're creating. And when they see you in person and they know that you changed your voice for that to make the experience better, they're not going to judge you for your higher pitched voice in person. And that's the other thing. I know that my voice is like higher and nasally than, what most people want to listen to. But, there's a reason why we do equalizing and why we do sound processing, even for small channels like mine. I have sound processing in my OBS software to just, try to make the sound, the sound that you're hearing coming out of my mouth as pleasant as it can be while still being me, right? So, I don't know. This is kind of just a little rambly video trying to talk about one aspect of all of this stuff that isn't necessarily associated with all the drama that happened with Pirate Software, but is directly related to him because, before I realized that, before it was proven that he basically is using a voice changer of some kind to make him sound like he has this super rich, deep voice like Mike Rowe, I was like, man, some people are so freaking blessed that they're able to just have this amazing voice. And, I have to imagine that aside from the fact that he's just such a shit talker, the sound of his voice is one of those things that just draws you in to want to listen, at least on his channel, right? So there's something to be said for that. There's something to be said for that. I would much rather listen to Mike Rowe narrate something than, me. So, yeah, I don't really have a point outside of the fact that I just wanted to talk about this one subject because it's something that's near and dear to my heart. I don't like my voice. I've never liked my voice. I think I overcome it somewhat by having the ability to put inflections and stuff in my voice and make it sound at least relatively interesting to listen to, because I just don't drown on about things and talk about them like this and it's boring to watch. Like, I actually, talk in an animated way that makes it at least somewhat interesting to listen to. But if I was able to do that and have like a Mike Rowe style voice, I think my channel growth would be like, I don't know, 5 or 10 times faster than what it is now, because people would actually want to sit. You'd be like hypnotized into sitting and listening to it. It's just kind of the way that it works. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. Just kind of an interesting thing that motivated me to want to make a video for my gaming channel that is technically a talking video, but because it's gaming stuff, I'm putting it on my gaming channel. So if you don't like it, if it's gaming related, it's going on the gaming channel. That's just the way that it goes. So anyways, thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to help us reach our first 10,000 subscribers. Join as a member for early access to perks early access to videos among other perks, or you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with that thanks button. I also have PayPal and Patreon links for those of you who would prefer to go that route, because some people like to go outside of YouTube to help out with channels. So that option is there for your convenience. So again, thanks for watching. Be sure to come back for our next gaming video, and I'll see you then.